Greetings, retro lover. This is Ethan, aka the Ghost Mall, coming to you yet again from my home studio. I make 80s and early 90s retro synth pop and soundtrack style music, and this video is the fourth episode in my series, RETROWAVE FAVES. And in this series, what I like to do is to share with you 3 new releases from the retrowave scene that I have been loving and playing on repeat for the last month or so. So sit back and join me here to listen to some of the best new old sounding tunes there are. This is RETROWAVE Faves for August of 2018. Well, friends, this has been a very busy and exciting month, I would say, in the retro wave scene. I have seen a ton of new awesome releases, singles, albums, EPs, all kinds of stuff has come out. And of course, not all of it could fit here, but I did want to mention a few things that didn't get shared in this video or won't get shared in this video, a few honorable mentions. The incomparable Dana Jean Phoenix has a new album up for pre-order. It's called Pixel Dust. Of course, we all know DJP, she is the best. She has a new single up here called Only for One Night on SoundCloud, so please check that out. The amazing Duet has a new album called Cycles. Somebody who constantly inspires me, definitely worth picking up. I was really thrilled to put out a new release, a new single this month. This was a collaboration I did with the amazing producer Zod. It's called Memory Mode, and it's a bit of an Italo disco 80s synth pop instrumental jam that we put together, so feel free to check that out. And last but not least, a new song came out recently that has become maybe my favorite retro influence song that I've heard in a few years. Last month, I had the pleasure of featuring a very talented composer and vocalist named Megan McDuffie on the show in a collaboration that she did. But this is a new collab, a single that she put out with the legendary Mitch Murder. This is a tune called Into the Night. So again, these are just some songs that I'm not featuring in this month's video, but I did want to sort of put them out there and let you know about them because they did come out recently and they're absolutely incredible albums, EPs, tunes. But one of the things that I particularly like to focus on with this series is to bring to you music that maybe isn't getting the circulation that I think it deserves, either because the artist is new or because for whatever reason, the song just hasn't picked up the steam that I think it should have. Obviously, you know, some of the people I just mentioned are legends in the scene, Dana Jean, Mitch Murder, etc. So you're unlikely to miss those tunes, but here are 3 tunes that I didn't want you to miss that you might have missed otherwise so far. So the first one, let's jump right in with it. This is a song by a group called L.A.D. They bill themselves as a 80s inspired pop band out of London, and I just discovered their music very recently, and they have a few singles up here on their SoundCloud page, but this is their latest. It's called My Toy. As you can see, some very colorful artwork here too by the very talented Misu Cat. She's just one of the best, one of the coolest artists in the retro scene as well, but this is a really hype, just very energetic, colorful 80s pop jam, one of the most true to form that I've heard in a long time. So as usual in Retrowave Faves, I'm going to play these tunes back for you. And as they play along, I'm going to chime in with my insights as to why I think it's a great song and why I love it personally. So yeah, we'll start off here with our 3 tunes for August with My Toy by L.A.D. Such an awesome track.
Come to my room, I got lots of things. Let's have fun today. I've been looking for a special someone to come and play.
It's a rare combination these days
Between the lines,
to find an act that combines the sonics of the production from the 80s with a vocal that really is reminiscent of the 80s, and these guys have it nailed, for sure.
my toy.
Just a great chorus, super catchy. I love the analog styled synth stabs there. A little bit of a slap style bass and some strings that sound like they might be from a vintage sampling keyboard.
I see playtime in everything. You know it's all fun and games. If you hide, I'll seek you out.
Just stellar vocals, absolutely great.
Coloring between the lines.
Little snap on the bass there, little fill.
Coloring between the lines. The picture is you always looking for something to do. 'Cause you're my toy.
A little bit of funky guitar blended in there. Some awesome percussion, great drum programming as well. Kind of gives me some 80s Janet Jackson vibes actually, which is never a bad thing. Just again, bringing some sweet nostalgic vibes along with some funk, which you know I love. Little instrumental break here. Little bit of a vocal stutter. That's by no means exclusively a modern thing. Groups like New Shoes were using it back in the 80s. All right. And there you have it. What better way to start off RetroWave Faves for August than with a really super upbeat, super nostalgic, super authentic 80s sounding jam. This one is My Toy by L.A.D. Again, if you haven't checked out their SoundCloud page, please do it now. I think they have about 4 singles up here. They're all awesome. And you definitely want to give them a follow because if I were you, I wouldn't want to miss what they do next because they're definitely making some of the purest sounding 80s inspired tunes around. All right, so continuing right along with our second jam for this month. This is another artist that I really just discovered within the last month and I've really enjoyed getting to know about their music and what they have on the horizon. So this is an artist named XENNON. Again, discovered them on SoundCloud like I usually do because I'm lurking there all the time, looking for the best retrowave stuff. But again, somebody who is putting out music that I feel like is flying a little too far under the radar for the talent and the amazing stuff they're putting together here. Not just an instrumental artist either. They just put up a new track called TSU, the vocal version, which is really, really good. And I just checked that out in the last day or two since getting in touch with them and putting this episode together. But the track that I wanted to share with you today on this video from XENNON is called The Visit, the instrumental version. As I understand it, there's going to be a vocal version of this coming out. And in fact, I think there's an EP on the horizon. So please go ahead and hit up SoundCloud. And as always, I'll put links in the description to these songs and these artists so you can follow them. And the links in the description to this video. But this one's called The Visit, the instrumental version. And I really just love the amazing gift for melody that this artist seems to have, and also some of the surprising things that they do with chord changes and stuff. So let's jump into this one, and I hope you'll enjoy it just as much as I do. Just such a bright, shiny atmosphere, and yet there's a bit of bittersweetness to it as well, which is something after my own heart for sure. You have some of the classic synth wave tropes here, some analog synth arps and some digital kind of chimey sounds. but really I think doing something a little bit unusual with it, a little bit new with it. Highly melodic, which I love. And this has a great breakdown in it too. It's nice to find some retro synth-inspired music with some real emotion to it. I feel like this tune has some real heart to it. Just a great synth lead here. Excellent sonics, great combination of sounds, great production. But again, it's just that gift for melody that I think carries me through this song. And let's not overlook the bass. Great, snappy, kind of punchy synth bass there. Great stereo kind of sound. Nice switching up the rhythm here. From a production standpoint, XENNON never really leaves you too long without something new to carry you along. What comes to my mind for sure listening to this are some of the classic scenes from my favorite John Hughes movies, and that's never a bad thing in my mind. Little New Order style breakdown there, before taking things off in a completely different direction, really. New chord progression, switching to a minor key more. I love that high, sort of digital, chimey arp. Again, as I said, this song just really has a great emotional build to it. Oh yeah, I just love that. From beginning to end, that is an emotional journey for sure. One that is super nostalgic and definitely takes me right back to the 80s. That is The Visit, the instrumental version, as I said, from XENNON. Please go ahead and check out their SoundCloud page and give them a follow as well, because I'm really excited to see what they do next. As I said, in addition to the wonderful melodic, emotional, instrumental synthwave, they have vocal tracks on the horizon and one out now that's really good. So please give them a follow and check them out. And third on our list for this month, last but certainly not least in my book, is an artist who I've been looking forward to sharing in whatever way I could for a while now. Somebody who I've been following for many months, probably over a year now on SoundCloud, and who I admire a lot. This is an artist named Lukas Lundh, a 80s retro inspired, really a singer-songwriter, somebody who brings to the table not only truly retro sounds and a gift for 80s style production, but a gift for lyrics, melody, songwriting, structure, all of that. and somebody who's really prolific, has a lot of songs out. And the song that I wanted to share with you this month is Lukas's most recent release. It's called Further. But if you enjoy this, please, in addition to checking out Lukas's SoundCloud and the track there, go ahead and visit Lukas Lundh's website. It's Lukas Lundh, LUKASLUNDH.com, because he has downloads available there for most of his songs, all of which are great. But Further in particular struck me as a really emotional song. I was corresponding back and forth with Lukas a little bit about the episode in preparation, and he told me that the lyrics to this were inspired by the words of Gene Roddenberry, who created Star Trek. And if you listen to the words and sort of the journey it takes you on, I can see where that came from. It also has a great mixture of both hardware synthesizers and VST plugin type synthesizers. Lukas has quite an array of stuff in the mix here. So, but really, besides the sonics and the production and the 80s sounds, what got me with this song is the words, the melody, and the emotion of it. So again, this is Further by Lukas Lundh, and hope you enjoy it. I sure love this one. Makes me feel like I'm slow dancing at an 80s prom.
Further, we can go further if we try. Longer, it might take longer than we can imagine. Brighter, we can shine brighter if we just believe it. Further, it is within our reach, our destiny.
I think it really bears saying that Lukas has such a great voice for this style of music. It's powerful and super earnest. Definitely takes me back in time and makes me feel something. Just an overall talent, this guy. Really the complete package.
We can be better if we try. Remember, we've come so far already. Don't give up now. Stronger, we are much stronger than we think we know. Further, it is within our reach, our destiny.
If our previous track made me think of great 80s movie soundtracks, this one definitely does as well. I find Lukas's songs to really capture a nice blend between sort of pop music and a sort of cinematic feel. This one in particular. Great synth sounds.
Mankind have made so much progress. We are bound for greater things. And we should strive to be more than we already are.
This is a really great bridge.
Maybe someday we will reach our ultimate goal. You know the journey is in itself a reward. Further, we can go further if we try.
This speaks for itself.
It might take
super powerful song.
Than we can imagine. Brighter, we can shine brighter if we just believe it. Further, it is within our reach, our destiny.
I'd be lying if I said this one doesn't bring a bit of a tear to my eye, actually. If nostalgia is what I strive for in my music, this is the definition of actually hitting the mark. That was Further by Lukas Lundh. Absolutely tremendous song from an incredibly gifted songwriter, producer, and retro lover like myself and like you. Please go ahead and go check out Lucas's. As I said, his website has a ton of his music as well, available for download, which is definitely worth getting. But he has a huge array of tracks here on his SoundCloud page, which I will link up in the description. So let Further be the first place you start, but don't let it be the end by any means, because he has a big catalog of great songs here. And if you scroll through, you're going to see a bunch of hearts from me, because I love his music. So hopefully you will too. All right, Retro Lover, there you have it. That was Retrowave Faves for August of 2018. This is the 4th episode. And again, I brought you 3 recent releases from the Retrowave scene that I am loving and that I hope you will love as well. And this is something I do every month now, and it's really a joy for me to be able to comb through the numerous new tunes that I've heard and liked, and the artists who I've been following, and bring them to share with you. I hope that you will go out as soon as you're done watching this video and seek out these artists, because they definitely deserve your attention, in my humble opinion. And if you enjoyed this, please feel free to give us a subscribe here on YouTube. On the Go Smalls channel, I bring you not only stuff like this, but behind the scenes as I create my own retro-styled music. Lots of videos about retrowave music theory, about songwriting, about the gear that I use. I just wrapped up a video on the EMU Emulator 2 and Drumulator and the VST counterparts to those. So that's the most recent video before this. If you're interested in the gear, you can check that video out. And if you're interested in any of that stuff at all, please feel free to subscribe to the channel if you liked this. And in particular, if you discovered a new artist or song that you enjoyed, please feel free to like this video and share it with anybody else who you think would dig these artists, because I think they deserve a lot more love. And with that, I'll say adieu to you, retro lovers. Next month, I'll be back with 3 more artists and 3 new songs for you to hear. And until then, I hope you will be well, be good to everybody, and keep it retro, and take it easy, guys.